Thank you so much. So our service is in a different order today, and I'm going to do my lesson first before the meditation, because the burning bowl ceremony is our meditation. So moving right into the lesson. Well, on New Year's Eve, Daniel was in no shape to drive home. So he left his car in the car park and began to walk. And as he was kind of swaying along, police officer stopped him about 4 in the morning and said, "Do you want to tell me what you're doing out here at 4 o'clock this morning?" And Daniel said, "Yeah, I'm on my way to a lecture." And the officer said, "Yeah, right. And who would be doing a lecture somewhere at 4 o'clock in the morning?" And he said, "That would be my wife." Well, the celebration of the New Year is the oldest of all holidays. It was first observed in ancient Babylon about 4,000 years ago. Their New Year began with the first moon after the vernal equinox, the first day of spring. And the beginning of spring is a more logical time to start a new year. What eventually evolved into a Holy Spring Mass in Europe was moved back to the winter solstice by the Church Fathers to serve several needs. First of all, the early church was in competition with the pagan holiday of the Romans called Saturnalia. And that still exists in our New Year celebration with Father Time or Saturn. Secondly, they were also in hot competition with the Mithra cult, which is a spin-off of Zoroastrianism, an ancient Persian religion devoted to the worship of the sun. There are winter solstice festivals throughout different world cultures, often overlapping with our Christmas and New Year. There is Hanukkah, the Jewish festival of light, and Kwanzaa, an African-American week-long celebration of light, not to mention the Chinese New Year and the Hindu festival of Deepavali, which celebrates the victory of King Rama. So all of these celebrations are festivals of light with roots in ancient fear of winter's darkness and hope for the sun's return. Many of these holidays celebrate light literally, as we do, with the tradition of candle lighting and also the burning bowl. So even in these outer rituals, we're concerned with the symbolism of light. You know, light can be many things to many people, such as, a positive thought, good energy, energy made visible, and the light force itself. Light is of God and represents that God's wisdom and truth in all things, as well as the releasing and overcoming of fear and negativity. So once there were some students of an Hasidic rabbi, and they were very upset about the prevalence of evil in the world, so they went to him and complained and had this strong intention to do something about it. So he said, "All right, my students, take these brooms and go down in the cellar and sweep the darkness away." And of course they were confused, but to no avail. They came back up and said it didn't work. So he gave them sticks and said, "Go down and beat the darkness away." That didn't work. Then he said, "Go down and yell at it, protest the darkness away." That didn't do it. So he said, "Well, my students, may you overcome this challenge of darkness by lighting your own candle." And he gave them a candle, and as they took it down in the cellar, they lit their candles, and behold, the darkness fled. So this is something that really applies to us personally and collectively too. We can remember the story of the monks and know that we must continue to hold our candle of light and peace in our own lives and in the world. Light can show us the way literally and symbolically through the power of vision and inspired insight. The unity style of the New Year holiday is twofold. First of all, burning away the old in the light of fire in the traditional unity burning bowl ceremony. We write what we want to release and we cast it into the flames so we can begin anew in 2022. And secondly, glimpsing the inner light, the flame of vision and the longing of our souls. We write a letter to God giving thanks in advance for our blessings in this new year. So what are the deep desires of our hearts? What is it that the soul longs for? Certainly one tradition of this time has been to write New Year's resolutions. You know, that tradition also dates back to the Babylonians. Popular modern resolutions then might have included the promise to lose weight or quit smoking. And the Babylonians' most popular was to return borrowed farm equipment. But rather than focus on resolutions, let us instead think of capturing a vision of our dreams. Jenny was taking an afternoon nap on New Year's Eve before the festivities, and after she woke, she confided to Max, her husband, "I just dreamed you gave me a diamond ring for my New Year's present. What do you think it all means?" "Aha, you'll know tonight," answered Max, smiling broadly. At midnight, as the new year was chiming, he approached Jenny and handed her a small package. Delighted and excited, she opened it, and there in her hand rested a book entitled The Meaning of Dreams. Not exactly what she was expecting. So in this case, I'm talking about the dreams of the heart. To build our dreams, we must first ignite them with an idea. From the void of nothingness, an idea catches spark, setting off the creative process. As creation is described in the book of John, in the beginning was the Word. The Word is the idea that we plant in the rich creative soil of our mind. But not just any idea will do. The ideas that grow great dreams come to us from the great longings stirring in our souls. So one of the best known parables of Jesus is that of the seed sower. He teaches that following our divine insight is no different than growing a crop. For dreams to manifest, they must take root in our mind. Behold, a sower went out to sow, and as he sowed, some seeds fell by the wayside, and the birds came and devoured them. Some fell on stony places where they did not have much earth and immediately sprang up because they had no depth of earth. But when the sun was up, they were scorched, and they had no root and withered away. And some fell among thorns, and the thorns sprang up and choked them. But others fell on good ground and yielded a crop, some 100-fold, some 60, some 30. He who has ears to hear, let him hear. So what does it mean that the seed fell by the wayside and the birds came and devoured it? Some of us possess closed minds or fears so that seeds of new vision fall by the wayside. Some fell on stony places without depth of earth. Dreams come and we think, yeah, that's a good idea, but then the feeling lacks depth. But when the sun was up, they're scorched because they had no root. They withered away. So when our dream is scorched by a negative thought, we tell ourselves it's over. You know, I don't have the money, or I don't have the education or perhaps the health or the youth. It's a foolish fantasy, or our negativity kills the dream. And some fell among thorns, and the thorns sprang up and choked them. Some of us have a beautiful dream to plant, but we become fearful or distracted. We don't take action. We just dream and think. I'm bored with my job, or maybe I'm not smart enough for school, or I'm not young enough to make a change. These fears are like thorns, like weeds, choking the dream. But others fell on good ground and yielded a crop. You know, I had a dream once. I've had a number of dreams, but this one was an outrageous idea to become a minister. It was one of those kind with deep soul roots. It overpowered any rocky ground, any thorns of fear, such as I'm not worthy enough, or I'm not wise enough, or whatever. And these deep roots of this dream overpowered that, along with other fears, like maybe I need to go live in a monastery for a while first, or maybe I need to be fully healed in my own life first. Well, there'd never be any ministers anywhere if that was the case. And this dream was so grounded in a heart's desire. It was like those plants you see that break all the way through cement. You know, we have a dream for our lives. When we let go of life-choking thoughts, our mind can be sown with the seeds of inspired insights. Again, this is different than New Year's resolutions. Here's an example of some resolutions gone awry. Someone wrote in their journal, Dieting New Year's Resolutions 2017. I will get my weight down below 180 pounds. 2018. I will follow my new diet religiously until I get below 200 pounds. 2019. I will develop a realistic attitude about my weight. 2020, I will work out 3 days a week. 2021, I will try to drive past a gym at least once a week. What we do in our minds. Well, the letter to God, by contrast, ignites a soul seed. We activate the power of the word. And the word comes to us from the depths of our soul, containing the essence of our desire for this next year. There's a feeling inside that is nudging us toward a greater experience. This is God's gift, our life, speaking to us, creating a divine spark that can ignite our dream into a potent idea. Well, Judy lived in an apartment that her 6-year-old son called the shoebox. With its rectangular shape, its dim light, and walls like cardboard, it did not seem like the best home for Judy, her son, and her year-old daughter. And in her heart, Judy had a dream. She kept envisioning the home that she wanted to create for herself in her mind, and she kept seeing it in vivid detail. It was about this home that she just wanted to love and wanted to move into out of the shoebox. And so she kept seeing it as having this beautiful yard with flowers, having arched doorway, having a beautiful fireplace, a great kitchen. She could see her African violets in the sunny window of the kitchen. And it was affordable. And the only trouble with that was that she could barely afford her shoebox, let alone leasing a new house. And her husband had actually left her the year before, but he only sent an occasional postcard, but never any child support at all. But Judy met with these 3 other women that she'd met at church once a week, and they would support each other in accomplishing their dreams. They called themselves partners in believing. And so it seemed, though, after some months of praying together, not much was happening. And so she became kind of frustrated, and she was feeling not very connected with God because she'd had a rough life in some ways. She'd had certain expectations and had had a lot of disappointments. But she worked on building a bigger believing, as she called it. And first she had trouble because of all the disappointments. It was hard for her to focus on her blessings rather than the idea that she was being denied something. But eventually, as she worked on this building a bigger believing, she was able, in fact, to move to a place where she could truly appreciate all of her blessings. And about this time, the real estate agent called and said, "I think I've found the perfect house for you. It has everything you wanted. It has great yard, it has the arched front door, a fireplace, it has a beautiful kitchen, and the only trouble is the rent's a little high." And so Judy's partners told her, "Make an offer, go for it." So what she did is she wrote a letter to the owner of this house, and she told the owner about her dream and about what the house would mean for her and her children. And she said all of the things she would do to the house, that she would take care of the yard, she would plant flower bulbs, she would stencil the living room walls beautifully and keep it up in every way. And she went on, and then she made the offer of what she could afford. And about 10 days later, the owner called her and said, "I'm not sure why I'm doing this, but I've decided to lease the house to you at a reduced rate for 1 year." So by New Year's Day, they moved in, and that was part of her dream, moving in on New Year's Day. That's exactly what happened. And within 1 year, she had a new job, got a promotion, and by her 2nd year, she had worked out a purchase plan with the owner and was able to buy the house that she came to love. So what she did is she ignited her desire. She had an intention and wrote it down. She asked for higher guidance and followed her voice. And through the assistance of prayer partners, she believed that it was absolutely possible. So by the new year, it all happened for her as she had hoped. The Talmud says this: "Every blade of grass has its angel that bends over it and whispers, 'Grow, grow.' We have an angel whispering over us, 'Grow, grow. Become all that you can be. Become.'" There's something wonderful and majestic in each of us, something beyond our wildest dreams, no matter what age we are. We invoke the power of light to burn away the thorns, the weeds, the fears, the false beliefs, the griefs, the resentments, all that which limits us from achieving our dreams, the true desires of our heart. And then we ignite the power of inner light and vision to know the dream of our life. So let us enter into this coming new year with powerful intention, the kind that shapes light into manifest form, with God as our partner. So God bless you and Happy New Year. Thank you. Thank you. So I want to talk about the burning bowl experience before we begin our meditation. And you'll want to wait to write anything on your papers until I guide you through that part. So since the ceremony is hybrid today, I will explain both virtual and live. So for all of you on Zoom, you will want to have the items nearby from the holiday packet if you took one home and or received one in the mail. They'll be the same for those of you here in person. So you should have the small papers for the burning bowl, a pen to write with, a piece of stationery for your letter to God, and an envelope. If there's anybody here who doesn't have one, would you raise your hand? Okay, looks like everybody's good. So when it's time, you can actually write on your small papers on both sides if you'd like, using one or more if needed. Doesn't matter how legible, you'll be burning them. For those of you who are on Zoom, you'll need a way to burn your papers, so you can have a candle lit sitting on a plate, then the ashes of your paper can fall onto the plate, or use a metal bowl or pan or your fireplace. If you want to just imagine fire, you can tear up the paper when it's time, either burn it later, put it in a small bag and take it out in the trash, and then imagine its incineration. For those of you here in person, once you're done writing on the paper, I will invite you to walk down the center aisle, staying kind of near the aisles, and then move slightly to the side as you come up here, because there is a camera in the back of the aisle on the ceiling, and that way the virtual people can see a little more what's going on here with the burning bowl. So I cannot emphasize this enough. Please just toss your paper into the bowl. Don't hold it to light it. Just toss it in. We don't want anybody to get burned. And if you're afraid because you toss it in and it's not lighting, don't worry, it will. By the time the flames accumulate throughout, it will burn up before we're done. So once everyone has burned their papers, then we will take a meditative moment to briefly write a letter to God. And I'll tell you all about the letters to God in just a little bit. But for now, have everything nearby. Our ceremony is twofold. It includes the burning bowl, followed by us writing the letters to God. And I'll lead you through the burning bowl part, and then again through your letter to God. But first, Amy and Adams will now sing for us for a few minutes. This gives those of you online a moment to get ready, and all of us time to begin to move into a more meditative state. Thank you. So the burning bowl ceremony is a wonderful ritual of release where we let go of old patterns and old attitudes that no longer serve us by saying goodbye to the year 2021 and embracing and welcoming 2022. The burning bowl ceremony is a wonderful tool for cleansing the subconscious mind of resentments, negative or false beliefs, feelings, unforgiveness, attitudes and concepts, anything we want to let go of. The burning bowl process is a symbolic act to help impress the subconscious mind with the seriousness of our conscious mind. We are telling the subconscious that we are burning, that what we are burning is no longer to be used. The memory of what we're burning is to be deactivated as a hidden motive for action, and its emotional energy is to be used in a new, positive, and creative way. So by adding faith to our surrender, we help this to happen. And we don't have to have a mountain full. We just turn to God in faith to start the process. So I'm going to guide you through this meditation of release and let you know when it's time to place your paper in the flame. So for a minute, close your eyes if you haven't already. Just take a deep breath, saying to yourself, I am completely and totally relaxed. And do it again several times. And say to yourself silently, it is not I, but the Christ within who does the work. The past has served us well. It has brought us to this point, and we can be thankful for that. But by hanging on to the past, we cannot receive the gift that the present holds for us. We are so blessed with God's grace, God's love in action in our lives. And January 1st comes reminding us that at any moment we can begin anew. Allow your breath to slow down as you become peaceful and filled with the healing presence of God. I'll continue this in the first person, so let my words become yours. Feel them enter your heart and have meaning for you. I relax my body and clear my mind and prepare to receive through the Holy Spirit. I prepare to receive images and impressions of those things no longer serving my spiritual evolution. Holy Spirit, I invite your sacred presence into my awareness. Show me what needs to be forgiven. Bring to the surface my beliefs and attitudes that no longer serve me. Help me to clear out and forgive the past, that I may be filled with the vitality of life. The past has no power over me. I forgive and release the past and allow the healing power of love into my life. God is my wholeness. I allow Spirit to move through any area of my life where the flow of love has been blocked, where I may have sabotaged my good. I release it and let it go. I now release and forgive all the people and situations of my past that have caused me to hold on to any anger or resentment. I release thoughts, hurts, or experiences that no longer serve me. I release the things that bring hurt to my heart, feelings of shame, guilt, unhealthy habits or beliefs that are not useful to me now. I assure myself the load will be much lighter when people and old hurts are forgiven, when habits are let go, when attitudes and beliefs are transformed, when fears are brought into the light. I take a moment and reflect on myself. I am a child of God, both human and divine. I deserve self-forgiveness for any perceived shortcomings, so I call forth compassion for myself. I release and let go of any guilt, resentment, regret, fear, negative feelings or beliefs about myself, feelings of lack or limitation. I am a child of God, therefore made in God's image and likeness, and God loves me as I am right now. And now take a moment to open your eyes, remaining in a quiet meditative state, and write that which you would release in the silence. And I'll let you know when it's time to go to the burning bowl. Just take time to write. And as you continue to write, just take the words in. I let the Spirit of God work in me now. I know that it is not by might nor by power, but by Spirit. And in a moment, we'll burn or tear up our papers. This is a time to remain silent. Those of you on Zoom, I invite you to put your paper into the flame as those of us in person put theirs into the burning bowl. And again, do not hold on to it, but let it go. And as you release the paper, release your mind from everything you've written on that paper, knowing the living Spirit of truth is healing and transforming everything right now. And as you do burn your paper, you may want to say something to yourself silently like, I release, I let go, I am free. And so whenever you're ready, feel free to step into the aisle and to come forth and drop your paper into the flames. and for those of you virtually, light years as well. It will still burn. And then I invite you all to remain in sort of a quiet meditative state and meditate on your vision for 2022 till everyone is finished. And then we can begin our letters to God. But first, let us know and silently affirm, I am not bound to the past. I am made new. Through the power of the Christ in me, I release the old and ask that any obstacles within me now be taken away. I behold the new. I see myself in a new light. I see my strengths and count my blessings. I'm now open to the good that lies before me. And in just a moment, we'll write our letters to God, setting our intentions for 22, and writing our letters in gratitude, giving thanks to God in advance for that which we are grateful to receive. So I suggest writing your letter as though you are giving thanks in advance, such as, Dear God, I give thanks for, or I give thanks that. And those who are in person, I invite you to write at some point your address on the envelope, and we will collect those and at the end, or you can leave them in the basket at the back also where the offering is. And we'll mail them to you in about 6 or 8 months. If you're on Zoom, you can put your letter in the envelope. You might write on it something like Letter to God 2022, and then put that in a special place and pull it out and read it in August or September. So to continue to contemplate your heart's dreams for the new year, while Amy and Adam sing a song for us, I release, or no, excuse me, it's not. It's
I am free.
I am free.
I am unlimited.
All right.
I am free. I am unlimited. There are no chains that bind me. I am free. I am unlimited right now. Right now. I am free. I am unlimited. There are no chains that bind me. I am free. I am unlimited right now. Right now. We are free. We are unlimited. There are no chains that bind us. We are free. We are unlimited right now. Right now. We are free. We are unlimited. There are no chains that bind us. We are free. We are unlimited right now. Right now.
And so I just invite you to continue writing in the silence for a bit. Feel free to play some background music if you like.
Okay. How I wish that all my tears could wash away the pain of all the world and all the senseless pain and dying. But I know I can't. So won't you let me be a light that opens up your eyes to see the glow of love? 'Cause then we'll be like eagles soaring in the sky, shining from above.
Once again, address your envelope. Those of you online, just Write Letters to God 2022, so you can put it in a special place. And for those of you who are in person, we'll mail it back in around August or September. So we'll collect them today, and either if we don't collect them, we'll leave them in a basket. Yes? Do you read them? We don't read them. You seal the envelope, and then we'll just save them to mail them back, so you can read them in about 6 to 8 months. It's always really interesting to read what you've written partway through. All right. So looks like we're almost done, and if you can stay a few minutes longer if you need to complete. But for now, let us just know together that before us is a gateway, the gateway to our future, fresh and open, full of promise and opportunity. Behind us is everything that has happened to us in life, which has brought us to this moment at the brink of a new year. So we step through the gateway and we greet the new year 2022 with open arms and a clear heart. We go forward in a spirit of gratitude and positive anticipation. And Amy and Adams will now sing, "This Day is the Start of a Happy New Year."
Beautiful bride wrote this for the service New Year's Day in 2009 at this very church. So this was the very first place we ever played this song. 2, ready, go.
Ba-da-da, ba-da-da, ba-da-da-da. This day is the start of a happy new year. Each day I won't give in to my fears. This year will be a gift in itself. This year I can start over again each day, doing the best that I can. And next year I can look back with a smile. This year I'll find the sun in the clouds. This year shine it on all of those doubts. This year I'll make it one of my best. Thank God I've got His love in my heart. It helps get me through the rough parts. I know this is the key to it all. This year will be a gift in itself each day, opening into such wealth. This day is the first of another new year. This day is the first of another new year. Each day we start a happy new year.
Thank you. That is a great way as we go into this New Year's week. All right, at this point in our service, we are going to do our offering blessing. I invite you to hold your offering in your hand if you're here physically, otherwise in your heart if you donate online or another means. And together, let's say our blessing. Divine love flowing through me now blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am grateful. You mean that?
I am grateful
To be giving from within. There's abundance in my life now. Now my blessing has been sent. I am grateful to my life now. Now my blessing has been sent.
Thank you. Now at this time we'll do our community news for the week. Next Sunday, January 2nd, is the White Stone Ceremony, another meaningful event at Unity, and I invite you all to come and join us for that in person or virtually. I know for me personally, the Burning Bowl and White Stone Ceremony, those 2 weeks are amazing because I just feel the entire Unity community all over the globe is doing this at the same time that we're doing it, and I just find that incredibly meaningful. And starting on Monday, January 3rd, Rhonda will be having her class on Zoom, the overview of the New Testament, and that'll be on 7 o'clock. So I invite you to join for that. And on Friday the 7th is the 12-hour service at 7. Again, that is with Rhonda, and it is on Zoom, so you'll receive a link to that. We invite you all to join us for that on Friday evening. And then on Sunday, January 13th, the men's group will meet here at the building at 7 p.m. And if you have any questions, you can call Jim at the number listed there. And our prayer chaplain today is Nancy Helvig, and her phone number is 612-382-7219. And the other thing that I just want to mention is our upcoming silent auction that's going to be happening online. And you will all receive an email within the next week about that with a link of how you can make your donations. We've made it very easy to be able to go onto our Unity website, fill out the form, and transmit it back to us, including being able to upload pictures. So we'll do that, or attach a link if it's something that you're going to be just mailing directly to people. And if you have any questions about any of the thing with the auction, just reach out to me and I'll be happy to update you on that. All right, now Kathy, do our prayer protection.
Well, I want to say thank you. Thank you, Wanda. And thank you to Martha and to Nancy. They had a lot of technical challenges to overcome, and they persevered, and they were calm and tranquil and peaceful. And let's give them a warm hand.
Successful.
And successful.
We very much appreciate it.
Yes. And we want to give a special thank you to Amy and Adams, who did both Christmas Eve and today. So thank you so much. And now let's do our prayer for protection. We on? Okay. Let's just say it together. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And now we'll sing our peace song. If you'd like to stand for that in place, feel free.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our Creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Happy New Year, everybody. And feel free to stay for social time. Are we? Yeah, we're still connected. I've lost my, so I'll have to look up here to see you. But if anybody has anything to say virtually first, it's a little easier if you start so we can hear you. Anybody?
Good morning. Can you hear me?
We can't hear Brandy yet. Hold on.
That's a first.
Hold on, Nancy's fixing it. Thank you for your patience.
No problem.
Okay.
Can you hear me
Try
now?
again. Not quite yet. Let us know, Nancy. Okay, for some reason. Are we getting any sound yet? Okay, one
No.
more minute. Okay, try again, Brandy.
Can you hear me now? Hello?
I'm sorry.
No worries.
This is part of the technical video.
That's okay. Like they can hear me. Oh, cute.
Well, thank you all for being with us today. Hope you have a wonderful new year, and we'll see you next week. And so sorry we can't connect with you virtually. Love and blessings.